Alright, welcome to today's math video on ratios and proportions. I think you'll find a lot of this is review. In fact, we'll start with on the top of your paper, what is a ratio? It's comparing quantities. 4 apples to 3 oranges. Okay. In the case of algebra, rise over run. Okay, that's a comparison of two quantities, rise and run. Which leads us to our first example. They're going to ask us to write the slope as a ratio. We know how to do that. Slopes rise over run. So when I look at line A, you got a couple of points there. So for line A, our slope is the rise over the run. So I'll start at the bottom. Okay. Looks like, let's see, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Over 1, 2, 3. Guess what? Got your rise over run. You got yourself a ratio. Comparing two items. Always make sure you reduce them. 13 over 3 can't be reduced, so that's as good as we get. And by the way, another problem, line B, we want to look at that. Same situation. Rise, 1, 2, 3. Run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going in a negative direction, so we would say that ratio or that slope is a negative 3/5. Now we'll look at the next problem. I'm going to take 2 seconds and shift the camera over there, and then we'll look at some proportions and get you out of here. Alright, example 2, they tell us we have this going on. The ratio of the side lengths of the triangles are 4 to 7 to 5. And its perimeter is 96. What are the lengths of the triangle? Picture's worth 1,000 words. We got a triangle. All 3 sides have to add up to 96 centimeters. Now the problem is when I look here and say 4, 5, and 7, that's nowhere near adding up to 96. But what we have to remember when we're dealing with ratios, they're always in simplest form. So when you look at this 4 to 7 to 5, that's been reduced. There's been a common factor taken away from those numbers. In other words, there's some number that we can multiply to 4, 5, and 6 that has been taken out. So what we want is we want to make x be the common factor that's missing. So let's think of this as 4x, 4 times x, 5 times x, and 7 times x. Think of those as the side lengths. If you can think of it like that, what we then know is that those sides added together will add up and equal 96. Now we don't know what x is yet, that's what we have to solve and figure out. But at least we have an equation and it might make a little bit more sense. Combine like terms, 16x's equals 96. Divide by 16. Now that's not our answer, but it's going to help us get our answer. Because what happens now is instead of 5 times x being the length of the side, we can actually figure it out. 5 times 6. This side is 30 centimeters. Instead of 7 times x, 7 times 6. 42 centimeters. Instead of 4 times x, and now if we add these 3 numbers up, they'll equal that 96. Questions? Comments? Concerns? Tough to ask me over the video. But, last but not least, proportions. I think we'll be good with this. Cross multiplying and solving. By the way, as I erase this little history, it's truly called the means times extremes when we multiply. My old teacher, Mrs. Nelson, no related to the Mr. Nelson, would kill us if we were saying cross multiply. But I'm probably sure you grew up with most of that. So here's how we do these first 2. A lot like our warm-ups, if we have 7 over x equal to 56 over 72, we cross multiply and divide. 56 times x is 56x. 7 times 72, oh, I hope I get this right, is 504. I had a cheap look at the calculator. Now there's still an equal sign in there. We divide both sides by 56. And x equals 9. You can plug it back in and check if you want. Well, what happens, you say, Mr. Thompson, when we get to a problem like the next one, when we have not just a single variable, but it changes to m minus 4. Same process. M minus 4 over 5 equals 12 over 3. Same thing. The only thing is when we cross multiply this side, we have to distribute. We're doing 3 times the m and times the minus 4. 5 times 12 is 60, but we have to make sure we distribute. Biggest mistake I see is people forget to distribute. And then we bust through this like normal. 3m equals 72. Divide by 3. There'll be a video below this one. It will have a few problems to practice. You'll put your answers for those problems on the questionnaire or the Google form below submitted. You'll get your points for that. Refer back to this video as many times as you need. And again, watch the video below this for your practice problems.